No word at COP17 on who will manage the Green Climate Fund, and 5 killed in a horror minibus crash. Good day to you. The Third World Network, a research organization for developing countries based in Switzerland, says negotiating parties at the COP17 climate change meeting in Durban haven't agreed yet on who will manage the Green Climate Fund. The organization held a media briefing as talks are concluded. The network's Mina Rahman.
What we understand is that there are 3 options which are on the table. One is the United Nations Framework Convention Secretariat. The other is the Global Environment Facility Secretariat. And the third is the UN office in Geneva.
5 people have been killed and 5 others seriously injured in an accident involving a minibus taxi on the N2 on the KwaZulu-Natal south coast. Provincial Transport Department spokesperson Kwanele Nkalane says believe the taxi, which was travelling from Durban to the Eastern Cape, collided with another vehicle in a road construction area.
The road is still obstructed and we do have our traffic officers working on the scene. This is one of the most unfortunate days in KwaZulu-Natal because since we started the month of December, we never had any major accident. And this is one of those terrible accidents that we are beginning to experience. But we want to warn all motorists in KwaZulu-Natal that they must drive carefully and they must be patient and tolerant.
Public Protector Thuli Madonsela told the Anti-Corruption Summit in Johannesburg that citizens have a right to know why certain decisions are made by those in power. She says transparency is crucial to the functioning of a democracy. She also says maladministration creates a breeding ground for corruption. Madonsela told the summit that South Africa has many challenges and needs strong and ethical leaders. The Eastern Cape government will no longer allow civil servants to conduct business with government. Premier Nokolo Kibet made the announcement during International Anti-Corruption Day in Bishu.
Already written to more than 1,000 employees in the Department of Health who have been found to be trading with government and who has never declared that. We've written to them to say they must either accept or deny, and in any event there is going to be consequence where one has been found to have been trading with him or herself without the necessary approval.
Members of the Women Informal Development Forum have submitted a memorandum of demands to the Office of the Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry in Pretoria. Their spokesperson, Rose Nkosi, says the constitutional rights of many informal traders are not recognized. Nkosi says figures reveal that the informal trading sector contributes between 7 and 8% of the country's economy, but despite this, the informal sector is never acknowledged.
These items, we don't just pick them outside. We buy them from their CTD and then lay them on the street and sell so that we can have a living for our children to school them and for us to be able to pay for the electricity and other things that government wants us as the citizens to do. Because they've been just preaching to say, we are going to create jobs for you.
The Dutch government has apologized for a massacre committed by its soldiers in Indonesia in 1947 as the country fought for its independence. A ceremony was held on the island of Java where at least 150 people were rounded up and killed. The BBC's Anna Halligan.
It started with a ceremony. 60 schoolgirls dressed in white Islamic headscarves singing the national anthem, celebrating freedom. It was their fight for freedom that led to the massacre. In September, a civil court in The Hague ruled that the Dutch state was responsible for the executions. The Netherlands had agreed to pay more than $1 million to the community before the court's decision, and now it will pay more than $200,000 in compensation to the victims' families.
The top story, the Third World Network, a research organization for developing countries based in Switzerland, says negotiating parties at the COP17 climate change meeting in Durban haven't agreed yet on who will manage the Green Climate Fund.